Welcome back Pokefans to part 17 of my Pokemon Flora Sky series. Last episode, we made our way to Golden City. This episode, we'll go ahead and go out of Golden City as we don't really have anything particular over here. And we can actually explore the next routes and see what the storyline holds for us. Now in part 15, I know that I just went around getting the Firestone and the Waterstone, but the one thing I actually forgot to mention is that you won't be able to get the Firestone unless you have the 4th gym badge. So you do have to come to see around city and get your 4th gym badge, and then the hiker will be actually moving away from that cave. So please do remember that. Alright, other than that, I have just gone ahead and gone out of the right side entrance of the Golden City, and we are actually exploring the route AD. Now this route is quite good as we have a lot of these farmers over here. Most of these trainers will have a Pokemon like Miltank, and you can definitely get an opportunity to catch one for yourself in the upcoming areas in this route. The main reason why we are going over here is because of the Merrills that were actually blocking the path to Booyah City, and I believe that's the next path that we're actually going to be going to pretty soon, so I'm really excited about that. Alright, here I'm just trying to use my Aggron as usual, and it seems like it still has a bit of a trouble using its moves. I feel like since we don't really have a fairy type Pokemon in this game, or at least I haven't really seen one till now, so I'm assuming that we don't have it. If that's the case, then having Aggron is really not that helpful. The only things it can actually help me against is going to be probably normal types like these. But I'm not really sure because most of these Pokemons will definitely have either a water type, fighting type, or a fire type move. So it's quite difficult for me to actually use my Aggron. Maybe in the future, if I do find a better Pokemon, a better Steel type Pokemon, I'll definitely go ahead and try to use it. I have been thinking about this, so if I do find a Lickitung, I might actually go back to see around city to get the Riolu that we have available for the trade over there. But you definitely would have to have a Lickitung. Now I did go ahead and search in the internet, and I could see that you can actually find Lickitung in Route I. And this is actually where you'll get the Firestone. Once you get the Firestone, you'll be able to kind of move through that cave, and you'll come to a place where you have the pond and a smaller house. So the grass in front of the house is where you'll be able to find Lickitungs. So definitely you can try getting a Riolu in your team. Probably that would be something I would just check out on. I know it is really tough to go to Space City from this game, considering we still don't have Fly TM, so it's a bit difficult, but I think it's kind of worth it trying to get a Lucario rather than this Aggron, just because we don't really have a fairy type member in our team. Now if this was probably Emerald or Ruby, I wouldn't have really minded having an Aggron in my team, as it would have definitely helped me. But in this situation, since we have a lot of trainers who definitely have some really good moveset, and since the game is a bit more challenging than a normal Pokemon game, I would definitely think having a Lucario is better. Either way, let's quickly go ahead and defeat this other trainer over here as well. The thing is, I was just trying to make sure I get a double battle, but sadly I couldn't, so now I have to just battle them one after the other. That's alright, we'll still try to use Aggron for the next episode, and then try to get the Riolu from Round City. Alright, seems like we are really not doing the expected amount of damage either, and for some reason now my Aggron is immobilized by Love. So yeah, this is a bit tougher. I could have actually switched out, but I was just trying to take down this Herdier just to see if Aggron can take it down in the next hit, which apparently not. It wasn't able to take it down, and there was 1 HP, and now it's actually fully healed. Alright, I guess at this point I just have to try that one once more, and of course I got an Encore. Thankfully it's Metal Claw, so that's a pretty good move, so I should be able to take it down. But of course, my Aggron is still in love, so I don't think I have that amount of a chance of hitting this move. Now, you might know that I have been switching around a lot of my team members, and the main reason for that is to just find the correct team member for my team. There are a few of my team members who I haven't switched, like my Torchic and Gardevoir, but I feel like I definitely would require a proper team member who can actually contribute to the team, so I have been actually switching around a lot of my Pokemons. This kind of also gives me a chance of using some Pokemons which I haven't really used before, and definitely Lucario is also in that, I guess, part of group. I have never actually used it. I have been using Riolu, but evolving Lucario has been a bit of a trouble for me. So I haven't really gone ahead and used it that much. So it's nice to have that one in my team as well. But for this episode, I'll definitely go ahead and continue using Aggron. And in the future, we can see when we can actually switch out it with my Lucario or Riolu in this case. Alright, here we actually have a Granbull, which is quite nice to see. I think this is the first time we're actually seeing one. And I believe some of these Pokemons are actually available from the Safari Zone. But there is a part of Safari Zone that's actually not yet available for us. So you do have to wait for the second part of the Safari Zone to be unlocked. For most of these Pokemons to be kind of available. Right, now that we have defeated this trainer, let me actually switch out. I feel like Aggron has done enough. It's definitely seemed to be struggling a lot in this route. And I think I might have to look into its moveset as well. But it seems like we do have some berry trees in this route, so I'm actually going to be going ahead and picking them up. It feels like there aren't that many berry trees in these games, especially since it's a ROM hack. So having berries available like this in a route is a pretty good thing. Alright, here is another Miltank, and of course my Growlithe gets flinched. And this turn it definitely went for a bite, so I will go ahead and switch out. I feel like my Growlithe is still not in full potential. Maybe once it does evolve into an Arcanine, I believe that it will be able to do a lot more damage than this one. For now, I'll just try using my Gardevoir and just waste my turn using Carmine since it's actually trying to use Bite. Alright, that was a lot of damage, but definitely would have to take it down in the next turn, so I'll quickly go ahead and use Psychic. Alright, not bad. Now, the one thing I have been seeing in this route is that the Pokemon trainers don't really have the higher level Pokemons. The Pokemons are kind of around level 38, which is quite surprising considering the Route W did actually have Pokemons around level 43. So this is a bit surprising, but I guess it's a good thing. Definitely if the Pokemons were higher, I would have struggled in this route as well, but since we have Pokemons that are a bit lower, I think we are easily able to level up our team members as well. Alright, that was pretty cool to see at Rapidash as well. Personally, I haven't really used it, but I have seen its stats and it definitely has a really good speed and attack stats. So if you want a speedy fire type, definitely Rapidash is the way to go. Alright, here we have 4 berry trees. Let me actually pick them all up and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, let's quickly go ahead and explore Route AB. It seems like we're almost at the end of it. Now there is gonna be a farm at the end of this route, but I don't think that's the place where we are supposed to go to. And definitely this area is actually called Honey Village. Now since it's called that, definitely you'll be able to find some honey trees over here, as well as a lot of Combees and other trees, other Pokemons that you will actually be able to find in a honey tree. But let me actually look around and see if there is any items that I can actually pick up. Alright, it seems like we do have some kind of shipping containers in this room, or I guess it's kind of like a barn, but we don't seem to have any items in here, so it's quite sad. Usually the game hides such items in these rooms, but apparently there is nothing over here. Alright, I guess we're gonna be going out and exploring the route itself. Now before crossing this bridge, I definitely would want to go above and cross the first bridge that we actually avoided, and we can come back down over here. I believe that we do have a smaller restaurant over there, and we can actually buy some items over there as well. So I do definitely want to go over there. I feel like usually the soda pop, the lemonade items that we get are way better than super potions or hyper potions, just because they are way cheaper and they actually give you way more HP than the normal super potion or hyper potions. So it's actually better to actually buy them in bulk rather than going to a shop and trying to buy a super potion or a hyper potion. Alright, let us look around, and definitely seems to be really nice. I really like the design in this game for these farms, as well as the very ominous looking scarecrow. Definitely one of the creepiest assets I've seen in a game. But I do want to actually look around and talk to all of these NPCs just in case they actually give us an item. Alright, I guess this is a dead end right here, so let's actually move up and go through the right side. Alright, I guess we do have to actually have an item in order to go through this next part, but definitely we can actually check it out. So here is the honey tree. If you do go ahead and buy the honey, you can actually go ahead and use it over there. Well, let's quickly go ahead and explore this house over here, which looks pretty cool. Really a nice design, and let's actually talk to the NPCs over here as well. Alright, it seems like this NPC is the one who actually gives you honey, but you definitely would have to help him with his milk tank, which seems apparently it's actually sick. So let me actually go ahead and talk to the little girl who's actually sitting next to the sick milk tank and see how we can actually help it. Okay, she's actually saying that the milk tank actually needs a lumberry, which I currently do not have. So I guess we can't really get or buy honey over here until we get a lumberry, so there's nothing else we can actually do. But if you do exit from the other side and just talk to this NPC over here, she actually tells that we can actually run around and catch milk tanks over here. So currently I won't be able to actually encounter any, considering I do have my super repel up. But if you definitely want to catch a milk tank, then this is the route for you. Alright, now that we have explored over here, let's quickly make our way to the bridge that was right next to that barn and see what we get over there. Alright, here we are, and let's actually quickly cross, and I'm just checking out if there are any hidden items, but it seems like there is another pair of mirrors over here. Thankfully, this time we have Cynthia over here coming, and she's actually gonna be helping us with these mirrors. She is gonna be giving us a secret potion, which, if you remember in the original Diamond and Pearl game, had actually helped to cure the side headaches and the ones that were actually blocking Route 210, I believe. The same thing is in this game, so definitely now that we have the super potion, we can actually go ahead and get rid of the mirrors back in Route AB so that we can actually go to Puya City. Alright, before that, let me actually explore this small area over here as well. And it seems like there is a trainer. Okay. Pretty surprising. I mean, all the NPCs in Honey Village have been quite nice. This is the first trainer we're actually seeing. And she has a Rapidash. Not bad. I think I do have to actually switch out my Growlithe, as it's really not gonna help. And since my horsey is still at level 27, I can't actually use it as well. Alright, at least by the end of this episode, I believe that we'll at least have a Seadra. As far as I remember, Seadra does evolve around level 32. So if we do get to level 32 in this episode, definitely we'll be able to get a Seadra. Alright, that was not bad. We were still able to take down the Rapidash with our Torterra, so that's good. And Horsey is at level 28, which is pretty cool. It's almost getting there. Alright, let's quickly get into this restaurant and check out all of the, items that we might get. And of course, we have a chance to buy lava cookie, fresh water, soda and lemonade. So let me actually quickly go ahead and buy some of these items, because these items definitely help me a lot. Well, now that I have got the items, let me quickly talk to this waitress over here, who's actually gonna be battling us like always. I mean, we did have a battle with the waitress in Golden City as well. Alright, definitely she has a Clefairy, and let's see how we can actually take this one down. Apparently Clefairy in this game is actually just a normal type, so I guess we definitely would need a fighting type team member. So having Riolu would definitely help us. Let's see how that goes. Okay, that was pretty bad. It definitely went back and used Moonlight, so I would have to actually switch out. At this point, I was still thinking that it would be part Fairy type. For some reason, I never thought it wouldn't be, so I actually switched out into Aggron. But as you can see, it just stalled the battle. This battle literally went for 4 to 5 minutes. I was just sitting there trying to take down this Clefairy and was so frustrated for the fact that it kept using Moonlight and healing itself. And as you can see, the Iron Tail is really not that super effective, which should have told me that it is not a Fairy type, but for some reason that never went to my head. So here I am just struggling to take a Clefairy down. Could have stopped it from using Cosmic Power, but since it definitely used Cosmic Power a couple of times and used Light Screen, I am not able to actually take it down. This is really frustrating, especially since it does have a healing type move. And of course my Pokemon is paralyzed as well, so that's pretty bad. Alright, I guess the only thing we can do is just keep on using our moves and just wait out the Light Screen. I did decide to actually heal up my Aggron as well at this point, since Clefairy wasn't really using any attack moves on us, so it was easier for me to just go ahead and heal it up. Either way, at least now we are a bit faster, and let's see if we can take this Clefairy down. Alright, I guess I'll just try using Protect just to see if... never mind, it did not use another attack move. I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I was battling this Pokemon, because clearly I was not making the right choices. Even the Iron Tail wasn't doing that much of a damage, so that was pretty bad. At this point, I presume that it has, lost all of the PP for Moonlight, so it has definitely started using Metronome. So that's pretty good. At least it's not able to heal itself, even though it does have a lot of defense. Thankfully, as you can see, I am finally able to actually take it down. Alright, that was quite frustrating. Something I would never want to face again. So let's hope that the next time we meet another waitress that I have a fighting type Pokemon in my team. Alright. Now that we have defeated this trainer, we can actually go ahead and get out of here. Since we have completed the very small cutscene that we had with Cynthia and the secret potion that she actually provided us. Well, as you might know, the next destination is to go back to Route AB, which is quite far, and actually you do have to go through the Route Q, Route V and to AB, so it's all the way through the long route. There is no way to go through Route W yet, since we don't actually have rock climb, so we still have to go ahead and get through the long route. That is a pretty sad thing, considering that it is quite far, but we don't really have any other way. So let me actually make my way to Route AB, where the Merrills were actually blocking the path, and we can definitely go from there. Alright, now that we are here, we can quickly go ahead and talk to the Azurill, give them the secret potion, which will actually make them go away, and the path is finally clear. So this is the path for Puya City, and I'm actually quite excited to go over there. Now the 6th gym is not actually gonna be in Puya City, but it's definitely gonna be our next destination. at least the destination for this episode. Alright, this route is gonna be pretty long, and we definitely have some areas that are only accessible with a aero bike. Currently, I actually forgot to get a aero bike, so I am still having my Mac bike, which means there are a part of these routes I can't actually access. But in the episode that I released yesterday, where I was picking up the Firestone and the Waterstone, I did go ahead and explore these routes as well with the aero bike. So if you want to access those paths, then definitely you can just check out the last episode, and I've just shown you how to actually use the aero bike as well. Alright, here we have a Swiper, which is the first time we're actually seeing one. Swiper is actually just a poison type Pokemon, and it's pretty good. Personally, I think many people would recognize this Pokemon just because Jessie from Team Rocket in the anime used to own this one. I believe she used to have this one for the Diamond and Pearl series, and we definitely saw this one as well as the Zangoose fighting kind of in some of the episodes. So that's the main thing that comes to my mind when I see a Swiper just out in the wild. Alright, now that we are here, why don't we go ahead and just go through this route. As usual, I'm not going to be running around in the grass over here just because I already have all the Pokemons in my team. Even though I'm going to be getting Riolu, it's going to be a traded Pokemon, so I don't really have to worry about the Pokemons in this route. But I believe that you'll be able to find Rosalia in this route as well as Zangoose and Swiper. But definitely not interested in any of those Pokemon, so I'm just going to be moving along using a Super Repel. Alright, here we have a Skarmory and a Meditite. Quite cool, and as you can see, the levels of the Pokemons are almost as the same as ours. So definitely in the next episode, I would have to actually level up my team members. Now, the current route which we are actually going through is actually pretty long. So I'm not really sure if I will be able to go to Puya City in this episode. If not, we can definitely go ahead and end out this episode in between and continue this route in the next one. Alright, we were at least able to take down the Skarmory together, and let's actually go ahead and focus on Meditite. Finally, it seems like Horsey is at level 29, so that's pretty amazing, and it definitely actually learned Twister, which is a very good move, better than Bubble, so I decided to actually go ahead and switch it out. Now, I'm not sure if I did the right choice or not, because I actually went ahead and taught Brick Break to my Aggron. I might actually regret this later on when I'm actually having a Lucario, but for now, Brick Break is gonna be on Aggron. Alright. At least we were able to take down the Meditite, so we actually have to take down a Medicham next. Pretty powerful. I have personally used Meditite in my team, and I know that Medicham is one of those really good Pokemons. It's actually a fighting and psychic type, pretty good, and you can definitely try using this one in your team as well. Sadly, I do have Gardevoir, so I don't want to actually use Meditite. But if I did not have a Gardevoir, I would probably try and find a Meditite for myself. Alright, we have defeated this trainer as well, so let's actually go ahead and move on. Now there is a staircase right here, so I would definitely want to explore this one before I move on with the route itself. Seems like we definitely have an item to pick up right here, and of course my bag is full. Let me do that one again, and yep, there we go. If you're wondering how I did that, I actually just went ahead and tossed the item that I really didn't need from my bag and just picked up this one. I know that we can actually store the items in the computer, but I really forget if I store the items over there and they never get used. So it's better to actually have the items that I need in my bag. Either way, here we have our next trainer, and it seems like in order to move on further in the route, there are a part of the route where we actually need to use rock climb, which I guess we would have to come back on later stage for. For now, we can actually go ahead and defeat this trainer right here, and at least Aggron is doing a bit better in this battle. Of course, when I say it, it gets paralyzed, so never mind, I was definitely wrong. let me actually go ahead and quickly switch out to my Growlithe, who's actually at level 45. If you might know, my Growlithe is definitely up higher in level, just because I want it to, I guess, be at level 49 as soon as possible. As you might know, Growlithe will actually learn Flamethrower at level 49, which should be able to help us a lot. And since I will have a Firestone in my bag, I can actually go ahead and evolve it as soon as it's level 49. I would definitely request you guys to actually evolve it at level 49, because Arcanine also will learn Extreme Speed move at level 49, which is quite helpful as well. Alright, here we have a Rosalia at 39 level, which is quite lower. But since we have woken up, we can definitely go ahead and try to take it down. Oh, okay, it's actually burned. So let's see if we can actually take it down in this turn. And yeah, we were able to take it down. Alright, that was pretty lucky. Horsey is actually at level 30. Now that's amazing. It's quite closer to actually evolving, and I'm really excited for that. Alright, now that we have defeated her, let me just look around. And it seems like we don't really have anything really important over here, so we can actually defeat this trainer over here as well. Alright, we have another guitarist with a Magnemite. I really wish I had my Growlithe up in front, because for the last two trainers, definitely Growlithe would have helped a lot. Still, I'm trying to use my Aggron just to see if it's still helpful for me in the team, and definitely doesn't seem to be that helpful till now. So, would have to just decide after this episode, I guess. Alright, I did decide to actually switch out into my Gardevoir, as there is a Minccino. And since I don't really have my Aggron in full health, I didn't really want to keep it out. Definitely was able to easily take it down with a Psychic, so that's pretty cool. Alright, let's move on, and I think we're almost halfway there. Definitely this is one of those longer routes in this game, and of course we have these people randomly calling us in the Pokénav, which according to me is quite annoying. As I mentioned in the last episode, wish we had some sort of way to actually block those callers, but we can't. So we definitely have to wait through it. Alright, here we have a Boatkeeper with a Drifloon. Drifloon is a Ghost and Flying type. Definitely a really good Pokemon to use if you don't have a Flying type team member yet. Personally, I haven't really used it, but I have seen its stats, and it definitely learns some really good moves, and its stats is pretty good as well. Alright, let me actually try taking it down with my Emolga, and that was pretty good. I'm always happy if there is a crit hit. Usually that is really helpful. Alright, we have a Honchkrow, so I'll go ahead and keep out my Emolga. Should be able to take down the Honchkrow in one hit as well. And of course we do. Alright. I really like Honchkrow just because it's part dark and flying type, and it's pretty good moveset as well. Just like Togekiss, I think Honchkrow is one of those special Pokemons that I definitely like to use in my team. Sadly, we're coming around the 30 minutes mark, and we haven't yet completed this route, so I feel like I might actually go ahead and end out this episode after this double battle right here. This seems like a weird combination, but we have a Ninja Boy as well as a Guitarist, I believe, that we have to actually go against. Oh, never mind, he's actually a Kindler. He definitely would have a Fire type Pokemon in his team. And Gardevoir is definitely going to be helping us in this one. I might have to actually switch out my Aggron, considering there is a Slugma in this team, but I just decided to go ahead and target Coughing first. So let's see how this one goes. Hopefully Aggron doesn't go down because of Slugma. Hopefully. If not, definitely would have to be a bit more careful the next time. Alright, I really got lucky over there since it did use Amnesia. So let me actually try taking down the Slugma as well as the ninjas at the same time. Alright. At least Gardevoir should be able to take down the ninjas. So that's pretty good. And we'll try focusing more on Slugma over here. Definitely my Aggron wouldn't do that amount of damage, but at least it's not using a, I guess, special attack move, so that's pretty good. Alright, let me try using Confusion, and that should take down the Slugma. And definitely there's one more Pokemon left to take down, so let's see which Pokemon it's gonna be. Alright, it's actually a Torchic, which we can actually find in Route I, but we would have to have the scope item in order to find it. For now, we'll actually try to take it down. Sadly, I wasn't able to take down over there, but oh, okay, never mind. This turn we are able to take it down, so that's pretty good. And we have defeated the 2 trainers. Not bad. I feel like we have gone through a lot of things over here, and definitely this is actually the good place to end out this episode. In the next episode, we'll go ahead and go to Puya City and then move on forward to Hotisita City. At least that's how I think it's actually pronounced. But thank you all for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It definitely helps me a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one.